All right, good evening, everybody. This is Brad Winter from Region Weather Live. Hope everybody's doing okay out there, especially after we've had some snow move through and some higher winds that everybody's had to deal with today in one form or another. Going to have to be very careful with my computer tonight because I can tell already it's going to be really slow to react. Got a lot of things pulled up here, so. All right, we had a snow squall move through Grand Forks, and a lot of people were talking about it. So I thought, let's mention essentially what a snow squall is. Snow squalls are intense but limited duration periods of moderate to heavy snowfall, accompanied by gusty surface winds resulting in reduced visibilities and whiteout conditions. Rapidly falling temperatures in conjunction with the snow can cause dangerous impacts to surface transportation. So we had one of these move through earlier today, and this is the radar as it went through just after Grand Forks, kind of in our area. And you can see it was just a small little line that's about 10 to maybe 20 miles in length at most. And it's, got some yellows and some greens in there. Before it went through Grand Forks, it was just this thin line of yellow popping up on the Mayville radar. So very intense band of snow that went through. So once it did, the winds picked up significantly. This is a radar loop from earlier in the night, and as the snow squall moved through, watch the winds as they pop up. Watch Carrington and Cooperstown, and even Grand Forks and Crafton, Crookston, even Fargo just pops up real briefly there at the end and then goes back down. Once that wind shifts and that snow band moves through, it's kind of like a summertime day when these storms come up, these convective storms pop up, and you have these lines that move through. They are, boy, I can see I'm really dropping a lot of stuff here, so I'm gonna have to get rid of some things. Let's see, I got to get rid of that and stop that looping. Yep, that's what I figured. Got too much going on for my old computer, and essentially, basically, what happens is it acts like a thunderstorm day. It acts like a summertime day, and so you have kind of these strong winds on the back behind it that actually oftentimes drive it, and that's really what's going on throughout our area too. And currently, these are the wind gusts in our area. So we've got 49, 41 in Carrington, 37 in Cooperstown, Devils Lake, 36. Again, these are wind gusts. 39, 43 up in Belcourt, plenty of 30s and 40s still out there. Plenty of wind driving back on the backside of that, and that's why we have this green area, this winter weather advisory. And it's also what's causing a lot of the no travel advised that I'll show you in a little bit. So this is valid until 4 p.m. tomorrow, and I'll show you how the winds kind of die down. But plenty of winds on the backside of this still. Even as we speak at this moment. Where our snow is, the band that went through, it has really kind of decreased, and they got rid of all the snow squall warnings that were issued with it as it came through. So that band has really died off. There is some scattered snow, a little bit of lines that show up here and there. So there might be some widely scattered snow showers that develop, and well, of course, once those do move through, they will also reduce the visibility some, but not quite like these snow squalls do. All right, here's a picture. Here's a video, I should say, of what it was like when it came through East Grand Forks. We're kind of protected by the wind. We've got plenty of trees to our north, and we've got buildings to our west, so really this is just a lot of snow that is falling down. We're pretty protected, but even at that, even being protected from the winds, boy, it came down pretty heavy for a while. It was about a 10-minute time span where that snow really decreased the visibility. Then here's a picture, thanks to Kim Lazur, who posted online. She said she was traveling from Grand Forks down to Reynolds, and boy, look at that. She could not see a thing. That had to be a scary drive. So thanks, Kim, for letting me share that tonight. All right, current roads. There you see all the candy cane roads and where it's no travel advised. And boy, that really spread down to the south and east quickly once that band of snow developed and those winds kicked up on the back side of it. So do be careful as you're out there today. On the Minnesota side, they don't do as good of a job, I don't think, of reporting the road conditions, but you can see some blue and some pinks in there. So around the Detroit Lakes, they have ice on roadways, but there was, I'm not going to get any photos off of this, but there was definitely some heavier snows that developed in through there. So I'd imagine some of those roads aren't the best on the backside of this front where the winds have now increased there as well. Here you can see some of the peak gusts. We've had 50 in Carrington, 50 right around Robinson, and of course good old Palermo also had 50 miles per hour. I do know Cooperstown had a 50 mile per hour gust. Fargo got up to, I think, about 43 miles per hour or so. So these are just the end-on stations and what they reported. So they're not always the same as the airports from what they show. So, all right, one more thing to look at before we get into the forecast. Here you can see the satellite. A whole lot of clearing going on the back side of this once that front kind of moves through. Maybe just a few stray bands of clouds on the back here, and so there might be some snow showers in there, as I mentioned before, but not a whole lot, nothing that's going to accumulate, but maybe just something that might reduce the visibilities down for just a brief minute or two. All right, jumping into the forecast. Here we are this overnight and into tomorrow morning. This is the 6 a.m. time frame, and by this time you can still see there are plenty of 30 to 40 mile per hour wind gusts across much of Minnesota and into eastern parts of North Dakota as well. So I would expect some drifting to still be occurring at that 6 o'clock time frame, and maybe even some blowing in some areas. It just depends on where exactly and how much. Oh, that didn't flip over for some reason. Sorry about that, folks. Pivotal, come on. Doing this on the fly again. It was working earlier. Not sure why all of a sudden it decided it didn't want to anymore. Oh, goodness gracious. This is what happens. This is what happens, isn't it? It's all good. There it is. Now I can pop up just because I had to name it. All right. Anyway, here's the 30s and 40 mile per hour wind gusts as of 6 a.m. time frame. So still probably expecting some blowing and drifting within these areas by that 6 a.m. time frame. Once we get into the noon hour, most of the 30s and 40s have moved off into the east, maybe a little bit. And then also up in the Arrowhead region, probably a pretty good chance of seeing some wind gusts up there. And I know even they've talked about maybe getting some snow squalls later in the day out there. So just be mindful if you're heading towards Duluth. The winds are going to be sticking around a little bit longer, and they might see some snow squalls like we had move through Grand Forks. Otherwise, everybody to the west of there is going to be seeing wind gusts 20 to maybe 30 miles per hour. Once again, I would think that might cause some drifting snow, but thankfully the road surface probably aren't going to be that warm, so it shouldn't stick a whole lot. So just going to have to deal with some drifting as we get into the noon time frame. Once we get into 3 o'clock here, you can see that high pressure is firmly overhead. It's going to be, we're still going to be having some clear skies. The wind should die off, so the rest of the afternoon should improve as we go. But then we'll be having some cold temperatures for one more night, just because we do have that high sitting overhead and the no clouds. So of course, we're going to have one more night of cold temperatures. And then here we are at Saturday at noon. We've got this warm front that's sitting right through here. And out ahead of it, we've got this band of snow that's developing, that's expected to develop. So like I said, this is at noon. We also have this area of winds that are going to be on the back side of this. And boy, are they expected to pick up. Here's the latest model. And, 40 mile per hour wind gusts west of the Missouri River Valley here. all these guys are going to be looking in wind gusts of 40, probably even 50 to 55 down in the southwestern parts of North Dakota. So wouldn't be surprised if you see some sort of wind advisory or maybe even a wind warning out through Montana and South Dakota and parts of North Dakota as well. This is for Saturday, so just be mindful if you're going out that direction. Any high-profile vehicles may have some difficulty. The other thing to note, we have that band of snow that was developing in the Devil's Lake Basin. There's also this strong southerly component out ahead of the warm front. So, of course, once we get into that around 6 o'clock Saturday evening, we've got these strong southerly winds, and we also have a band of snow that's developed. So I think we probably could be seeing some hazardous travel conditions once again developing in northeastern North Dakota, more so into northwestern North Dakota once you get into the Thief River, Crookston, up through Hallock and Roseau. I think areas up and through there could have some travel conditions late in the day on Saturday, just with the strong southerly winds and also the snow that's expected to develop. And we are we could see 1 to 3 inches of snow as this does move through the region. So just something to be mindful of here as we go into Saturday, late part of the day on Saturday. Here's the next system that comes in late Sunday, showing some snow and some rain. This is the one I've been talking about the last few days where the models are kind of flip-flopping. Now here we've got one of our latest runs, or kind of our short-range model that does a little bit better job once it does narrow down in on the time frame, once the time frame gets a little closer. So here's what it's thinking as of 6 p.m. on Sunday evening. So some rain and some snow throughout North Dakota. And then accumulation-wise, here we are at midnight. By this time, it's spread east of the Missouri Valley, kind of into the James River, into the Red River, southern parts of Red River Valley, and then in through Lakes Country of Minnesota. So you can kind of see how that band moves according to this particular model, according to the NAM. Here's what it's showing as far as accumulation-wise goes with this system. Not a whole lot, maybe 1 to 3 inches, maybe 4 tops, but you can basically see where the track is expected with this one. Some of the other models, this is the GFS, actually fairly similar in the location, maybe a little heavier on the accumulation. Yet one more model. Whoa, that one showed me a new one, so that one doesn't count. Why'd you update? But that one basically showed roughly about the same thing, but even more snow. So we're going to have to still kind of keep an eye on parts of central to maybe even southern, southeastern parts of North Dakota, where we could pick up 1 to 3 inches of snow. And there's the possibility of picking up 4 or more. Just going to have to watch. It's maybe looking like on the lesser end of it, so that's going to be good. May also see some rain associated with that in southern parts of North Dakota. But once that is passed, things definitely warm up. All right, as I said before, we've got one more night of cold temperatures. These are the expected, or 2 more nights. Sorry, 2 more nights. Oh man, I keep wanting to rush this. Can't rush this. 2 more nights. Tomorrow's only Friday, for God's sakes. Tomorrow morning, low temperatures, and these are not wind chills. These are just the expected lows. So everything in the single digits, but we are expecting, we do have the wind chill advisory. So minus 35 in the northern parts to probably minus 20 down in the southwest. Those are going to be the expected wind chills by tomorrow morning. As we go into the day on Friday, or into Saturday morning, one more colder morning. We're really not expecting to warm up a whole lot tomorrow, so we're still just going to be in the single digits for highs. So that means Saturday morning, one more cold morning Saturday morning, negative teens across much of eastern and northern parts of Minnesota. We get into the single digits above zero in the southwest. And then here we are at Sunday, highs 20s in the north, 45 to 50 down in the southwest. And then we get into Monday. We are looking at highs in the 30s to finally 60 degrees. Tuesday, 30s and 50s and 60s. And Wednesday, 30s and 50s. So a pretty nice, really, really nice start to the week. Definitely expecting a warm up here. All right. As far as anything else goes for the extended forecast, there might be the possibility of something late in the day, Tuesday into Wednesday morning. Maybe a rain snow mix. We'll have to keep an eye on that. But other than that, the models have kind of backed off on anything for next weekend and really pushed everything to the south and east. So this might be the only thing to keep an eye on is just Tuesday night into Wednesday. But that's really about it. So here, once again, here's what's left of that snow. Everything's kind of faded away. We got a little bit of snow showers, maybe some here and there off to the northwest, maybe some that aren't even being picked up on the radar. Still got plenty of wind gusts. Still, we're looking at even 50 miles per hour here. Just what is that? Rugby, I believe? Not rugby. Harvey, that's what it is. That's what the winner is. Harvey, you're the winner at 49 miles per hour. Garrison, 39. And wind chill wise, back off one more time and take a look at the wind chills. Currently, we've got minus 30 up in Belcourt, minus teens down through the Missouri Valley, 21 in Dickinson. So, and then up as you get into Crosby and Williston, minus 30. So quite chilly out there. Going to be even chillier as the night goes along. So this will be the last night I'm doing it for the week. We got kind of a busy weekend coming up. We've got some friends coming in. We've got the Sacred Heart Fish Fry. So make sure you make it out to Sacred Heart if you're looking for some Lenten fish. I'll be working that to come through the drive-through. I believe we have Andy Schneider handing out the fish this weekend. And then we've got hockey, and there is a concert in Grand Forks. So all sorts of things going on. So do be safe out there. Stay warm. Check those road conditions before you go anywhere. And we'll. I think the next time I'll be back will be Sunday night, the way it looks at this point. All right, thank you everybody for checking in to Region Weather Live. As always, like and share and all that fun stuff down below on the YouTube page, and that helps get the word out. Everybody have a good night. Thanks for sticking with me in my slow computer. I do apologize for that because it was really holding things up today. I don't know. Hopefully someday soon I'll have something better and this will get a lot smoother. So have a good night, everybody.